Um, what has happened over the past 35, 40 years has been, I think, uh, three things which have fed off each other. The first, obviously, is the power of computing. A mobile phone now has roughly 1,000 times the computing capacity of the computers that were on the Apollo landing craft. And that's just a mobile phone. We walk around. I carry now, as in my backpack when I cycle to and from home, I carry something like 10 times the amount of compute power than was in my entire laboratory of 200 people at MIT 40 years ago. It's a staggering amount of compute power. And it's getting more and more and more all the time. And as part of that increase in compute power has been an increase in graphics. If you look at the quality of images that we see on computers now, compared with what they were even 10 years ago or 20 years ago, it's extraordinary. So much so that the images that clinicians can see on computer screens now are as good as they ever used to see on film 30 years ago. So computing and imaging has become, has gotten to the point where we can do things that were considered inconceivable 25, 30 years ago, and can display the results in a way that engages with clinicians to inform their judgment, to give decision support. The second thing that's happened is that the emergence of the internet, following the internet, the cloud. So we now have a fantastic global infrastructure of information, and with not only distributed storage, but distributed compute power. And that's what the cloud gives us. So we can now not only take one single computer, which has gotten more powerful, but we can engage 100 computers in completely geographically distributed sense. So for example, my company here in Perspectum, if we want to train technology to, for example, to learn a new method for segmentation or whatever, we will quite often train it on 50,000 cases, but we won't do it on one computer. We'll do it through the cloud on 64 or 128 computers that might be in 4 different continents. And it's cheap, it's effortless. So almost infinite storage, almost infinite compute power, and globally distributed information. And the third thing that's happened, of course, is within biology, the world has been transformed by molecular biology. And it's not just looking at strings of genes, and it's not just looking at wonderful pieces of technology such as CRISPR-Cas9. It's also the wider genome. It's understanding amino acids and proteins, and it's understanding protein structure. It's understanding the role, for example, of messenger RNA, which we have just seen so spectacularly with the development of vaccines against COVID. Now, when you take those 3 technologies of increasing power of computers and the algorithms of AI that are driving and needing that technology, and the internet and biology, and you pull those together, you end up with a totally transformative way to think about medical problems.